أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم صلى الله تعالى على حبيبه محمد وآله وسلم. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to our segment on Surah Yusuf. Inshallah, today we will cover the second Ruku of Surah Yusuf, verses 7 to 20. May Allah grant us the ability to understand the true meanings of the Quran by the grace of His Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Ameen. With this dua, let's begin the second Ruku of Surah Yusuf. Verses 7 and 8. Certainly were in Yusuf and his brothers signs for those who ask. When they said, Yusuf and his brother are more beloved to our father than we, while we are a group. Indeed, our father is in clear error. In the previous Ruku, it was mentioned that the story of Prophet Yusuf ﷺ is considered one of the best stories for us to read and understand. The purpose of any Quranic narrative is not just to describe past historical events, but to provide us with lessons that we can learn from. These stories describe real events, situations, and reasons that have led to the rise and fall of individuals and nations. By comparing ourselves to the characters in these stories, we can learn and prosper. Through these verses, we are reminded that there were signs to learn from Prophet Yusuf ﷺ and his brothers for those who pay attention. The verses indicate that Prophet Yusuf ﷺ and his brother were resented by their siblings. The brothers were unable to comprehend why their father showed more affection and attention towards only two of his many sons. Let's go on to verses 9 and 10. Kill Yusuf or cast him to a land. So becomes void for you the face of your father, and you will be after that a people righteous. Said a speaker among them, do not kill Yusuf, but throw him into the unseen depth of the well. We'll pick up some caravan if you are doing. The brothers consulted amongst themselves and devised plans to get rid of their brother, Prophet Yusuf ﷺ, so they could gain their father's full attention. They were willing to go to the extent of killing him, which they knew was a sin, but then they assumed that afterwards, if they repented and did good deeds, they would be forgiven and could live in peace. A point to note here is that willfully committing an evil act with the intention of repenting and expecting to be forgiven is a great satanic deception. We are often deceived by Shaitan into thinking this way and end up making detrimental mistakes. Instead of killing him, the brothers agreed to throw Prophet Yusuf ﷺ into a deep well where he might be picked up by some travelers. Let's go on to verses 11 and 12. They said, O our father, why do you not trust us with Yusuf, while indeed we are to him well-wishers? Send him with us tomorrow to enjoy and play, and indeed we will be his guardians. The brothers asked their father to let Prophet Yusuf ﷺ spend the day with them as part of their plan. Although their father was hesitant to let him go, they assured him that they would keep him safe as they were his benefactors. Let's go on to verses 13 and 14. He said, Indeed, it saddens me that you should take him, and I fear that the wolf would eat him while you are of him unaware. They said, If eats him the wolf while we are a group, indeed, we would then be losers. Prophet Yacub ﷺ knew that his sons felt animosity towards Prophet Yusuf ﷺ and what they were capable of. In order to not let them think that he did not trust them with him alone, he told them that he was hesitant to let him go for fear that a wolf might take him when nobody was looking. But the brothers were adamant and reassured him that they were a large number and would never let a wolf defeat them. Let's go on to verse 15. Then, when they took him and agreed to put him in the unseen depths of the well, and we inspired to him, you will surely inform them about this affair while they do not perceive. So when the time came and Prophet Yusuf was thrown into the well, he was sent an inspiration from Allah as reassurance to not worry. He was told that he would get out of this predicament, and a time would come when he would tell his brothers how they treated him, as they were unaware of what the future held for Prophet Yusuf. Let's go on to verses 16 and 17. And they came to their father at night, weeping. They said, "O our father, indeed we went racing each other, and left Yusuf with our possessions, and ate him the wolf. But you would not believe us, even if we are truthful." After their evil plan was carried out, the brothers returned to their father at night, crying over what happened. They told him the fabricated tale that Prophet Yusuf was indeed eaten by a wolf, while they all went racing and left him in charge of their things, and insisted it was the truth, despite it sounding unbelievable. Let's go on to verse 18. And they brought upon his shirt with false blood. He said, "Rather has enticed you your souls to a matter, then steadfastness is beautiful, and Allah is the one sought for help against what you describe." To make their story more believable, they stained the shirt of Prophet Yusuf with false blood, claiming it was his. However, their father knew better. Their intense feelings of animosity and greed made them do what they did. So he turned to Allah to help him deal with being away from his beloved son for the time being with sure faith. At times, we also go through hardships and trials like Prophet Yacub did. We might lose hope and trust in Allah's plan. That's the exact time that we need to ask help from Allah. We need to stay steadfast, knowing that Allah will help and honor us in the long run. Let's go on to verses 19 and 20. And there came a company of travelers. Then they sent their water drawer. Then he let down his bucket. He said, "Tidings, this is an adolescent." And they concealed him as merchandise, and Allah is knowing of what they did. And they sold him for a price very low, a few coins, and they were concerning him of those keen to give up. In the meantime, as Prophet Yusuf sat in the well, some travelers passing by found him. He was a young boy who could become useful, so they kept him hidden from others as they took him to sell for money. They ended up selling him for a low price, as they did not want to keep him for long. This concludes Ruku 2 of Surah Yusuf. Let's briefly go over what we discussed. There are lessons and guidance in the story of Prophet Yusuf and his brothers for those who take heed of them. The brothers had devised and carried out their plan to get rid of Prophet Yusuf. For the sake of attention from their father, they let their feelings of animosity and greed take over them. Prophet Yusuf was later found by some travelers who sold him for some money. Prophet Yacub knew that Allah's plan for his son was far greater, and despite knowing that he would be away from him for some time, he did not interfere with the affairs of Allah. Both he and Prophet Yusuf were steadfast and unwavering in their faith. May Allah grant us the ability to understand the Holy Quran and its true meanings in light of the life and guidance of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Ameen. Thank you for joining us for this segment. Until next time. Sadaqallahul Aliyyul Azim. Allah speaks the truth, the exalted, the great. Sallallahu ta'ala ala habibihi Muhammadin wa alihi wasallam.